crypto bull run, or is this the crime season crypto edition? We are watching as major manipulation is hitting this space. Now, you could argue that it's the Trump administration manipulating the markets through tariffs, or you could also look deeper than just the typical nonsense that everyone is saying. They're blaming Trump, obviously, yes, with tariffs and things like that. It will affect the market. I'm not a big fan of, the moves that Trump has made around crypto regarding the meme coin launches and things like that. However, there's still a lot of great things that have happened since Trump got into office around crypto. But one big thing that I'm watching during this time that a lot of people just really aren't looking into is manipulation by crypto players, specifically crypto exchanges. We have a lot to talk about on this subject, but let's first start off with the market because, well, it's a sea of red again. What a big surprise, right? On the weekly, we are still in the deep red. On the monthly, deep red. On the yearly, we still have some nice green out there, but at what point in time do we round trip all of these gains if this manipulation phase of the cycle is just going to continue on and on and on? We need to get past this nonsense. We need to have something flip in this market. If we're looking at Bitcoin back down to 108K, Ethereum back down to like almost 3,800, and XRP back down to $2.42. Now looking into Bitcoin, right? This was earlier today, 11 a.m. We hit a high of almost 114K. Then we sell off immediately, back down to where we are currently trading at about roughly 108.3K roughly. Again, when we are looking at this, what was the big news? What happened here? What was happening, during this point of the market where, Bitcoin was running up, and then what happened after? Well, we will address that here in a moment. But let's also look at Ethereum. Ethereum closely following Bitcoin. XRP closely following Bitcoin. This is why I keep saying that almost everything is revolving around what Bitcoin is doing right now. Until that changes, we are not going to see any significant run up on altcoins. Now, let's take a quick look at the top tier exchanges in this market. Specifically, number one, Binance. Over the years, Binance has been really a big spotlighted exchange. It's been one of the largest ones. And really since about roughly 2017, it has grown to become a giant in this space. But also during that time, there has been a lot of speculation on what Binance is doing, how Binance is essentially cornering the market, and how players like CZ have made all their money. Yes, it's very easy to say, well, Binance is the top tier crypto exchange. It's the number one crypto exchange, has over, almost 12 million weekly visits, $29.4 billion worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours. It's pretty simple, right? They're making a ton of money. Sure, you could argue that. However, Binance has always been a major exchange based around manipulation. I want to go over a few things. Number one, I want to go all the way back to August because, again, this is how long manipulation has been going on around the space. Obviously, manipulation has always existed, but this cycle, I feel like, has been the absolute worst for manipulation yet. This was $250 million worth of crypto longs liquidated in the past 30 minutes. This was on the weekend. And I said that the market manipulation on the weekend is so obvious at this point. Now, the difference here is that going into Sunday, right, we were starting to pump on Bitcoin, right? On the 19th, we were pumping, we were doing very well. Then come Monday, and we continued to pump all the way throughout the day up until about roughly 5 p.m. And then we sold off. And then Tuesday, we go crazy again. But then we sell off again. This was market manipulation during the day. Most of the price swings, most of the major price swings happen after stocks close and when crypto is the only thing open. which is also highlighting manipulation happening in the crypto market. It's not being affected by anything else. Obviously, yes, with crypto being open 24/7, there does call, there is a little bit of call for concern whenever there's a new announcement that drops around like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or something like that, ET, right? Because yeah, it's going to affect the market before it affects, stocks and things like that. But if we look at this post here from DGenApe22 over on X, we have look at the timing in below screenshots. Gold rotation to Bitcoin as expected. Bitcoin pumps too fast. Donald Trump throws some more doubt around tariffs to cool it down a bit. Magical shorts appear impeccably timed. Same as last time. Most obvious market manipulation ever seen. Because again, if we go back to the last time, yes, there was a lot of insider traders that knew about the tariff announcements before it actually happened. They were shorting the market already. But here we have the first post, which is gold down, Bitcoin up, some inverse correlation after all. Send gold to zero. And again, this is after gold fell significantly. That's what led to Bitcoin pumping in a huge way, which by the way, also took everything else with it, including XRP. But then we get Justin. President Trump says his scheduled meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping might not happen. Interesting. Then we get alert. The insider whale who profited from last week's crash currently short $235 million with 10x leverage. Yeah, it's comical at this point. Here we have the full position as well. And at this point, it feels as if we are at the stage in the cycle where we can expect manipulation happening at almost every single major price swing. But again, how does Binance fit into all of this? Well, we're going to talk about that here in a second. But let's go over here to the announcement that happened roughly 4 hours ago at the time that I'm recording this. We have breaking. Trump announces tariffs on China will be at 155% as of November 1st. This isn't new news, by the way. We've had these statements around for a bit of time. However, I did say it's comical that the second the market moves up a bit, it's back to tariff doom. Because again, it feels as if these tariff discussions and the trade war has been utilized as a weapon to delay the markets and slow things down. The same exact way that the government shutdown has been delaying things around ETFs. It's comical to me at this point that, almost everything is gauged to slow things down, delay things longer. And this is just to make sure that the big players get on board. Now, on top of that, here we have the announcement from Trump regarding the tariffs. We have Trump says he's slapping 155% tariffs on China starting November 1st. He says China's been taking advantage of America for years, and this time the tariffs won't be small. Markets are already uneasy. Bitcoin's been chopping for weeks, and everyone's waiting for clarity. If this is the deal-making phase, let's get it done already. The market's tired of the suspense. And here we have the video clip.
Thank you, Mr. President. Russia remains China's top crude oil supplier in September. Are you considering tariffs on China?
Well, I mean, you read the same papers as I do, but I don't have to read the papers because I'm the one. Right now, as of November 1st, China will have about 155% tariff put on it. And I don't think it's sustainable for them, so I want to be nice to China. But China's been very rough with us over the years because we had presidents that weren't smart from a business standpoint. Some were good politicians, some weren't even good politicians, but they allowed China to take advantage of us and every other country to take advantage of us.
Thank you, Mr. President.
So yeah, obviously more discussions happening around tariffs, which lead to pretty much almost nothing. We've been hearing about this deal for quite some time, but the biggest thing happening during this time, right, is everyone is looking at the obvious one in the room, which is Trump and these tariffs, saying, all right, well, that's the cause of all of this manipulation, right? Well, it doesn't explain how these insider traders are trading. Is it somebody that's close to Trump? Is it someone in the Trump family? Everyone has been speculating that it's, Barron or, Eric Trump. Again, when we look at this, though, let's go all the way back to 2020, right? Obviously, the COVID crash was real. The price swing that we just got on the 10th was manipulation. Easy808 put out a post regarding this as well, because this was a massive wick, but it was by Binance. How so? How was this all by Binance? Well, if we go over here real quick to this post, which is from our recent liquidation event, this is from Crypto Nobler. Breaking: Binance is dumping Bitcoin to liquidate $9 billion in long positions. They are selling Bitcoin in large quantities every few hours over and over again. Classic exchange manipulation. Don't get shaken out. Because again, when we have long positions set up on these exchanges, okay, they are playing the market. They are essentially utilizing market makers to target longs, target shorts. Because when they liquidate those players, especially when it's $9 billion, well, who makes that money? Is it other traders? No. The market makers and players that are, providing that capital, aka exchanges, they make that money because they liquidate those that are utilizing that money in those positions. This is classic market manipulation by major exchanges, and this has been happening for so long. Now, again, we go all the way back to September, where Binance was doing the same exact thing. Here we have Binance selling even more Solana to crash Solana. This is Ethereum. Here we have Bitcoin as well. Now, on top of this, do I think that Trump and the Trump admin is also manipulating these markets? 100%. Almost every single announcement that we have gotten from Trump around tariffs, for the most part, has been over the weekend or after Friday's market close. Or it's been after stocks close. We already know that his Trump is heavily involved in crypto. So it would make sense for them to also manipulate these markets and get even richer off of it. Now, on top of that, we also got an announcement recently which did claim that Barron Trump made over $80+ million in crypto already. I don't think that I need to tell you guys that it's been extremely challenging to make a ton of money in crypto for the last roughly, I would say, give or take 9 months. Most altcoins have yet to even reclaim their previous highs. So what is Barron Trump doing that we are not aware of? Well, it would have to be trading the market based on insider information, because there's absolutely no way that someone that's not extremely proficient in trading, that's a veteran, is making that type of money in the short amount of time frame that he did. Now, on top of this, let's go back to October 10th, because this is where I essentially said, spell it out with me, manipulation. Because if we look at this, we have, and there we go, Trump having canceled meeting with Xi Jinping, might still have the meeting with Xi. Trump on venue for potential meeting with Xi will still be there. Again, this is after the market already collapsed. And then we have these possible updates. Again, it's to constantly keep you on your feet, not being able to guess what happens. Because again, all of this it's all manipulation. We keep seeing these types of announcements. It kind of takes me back to the days before the 10th, which was the major swing recently, this one, right? That led to our price action that we see in front of us now. It takes me back to the day where Trump said, oh yeah, everything's looking good with China. Xi doesn't want, China to suffer, and we don't want China to suffer either. So we are willing to help them out. And then all of a sudden we get this like negative news around tariffs with China. And, all of a sudden it's back and forth battles again, leading to the market selling off again. It's just all psychological warfare at this point. It's playing on emotions, because again, all of these markets move on emotions, but it's clear manipulation from all sides. But Binance is 100% also playing the game. We know these major exchanges have been playing the game for so long. It's the number one reason why when the market has these massive price swings, guess what? No, you're not able to utilize any of these exchanges to buy. Majority of them are down, while the big players jump in. And the same goes for even the swing highs. When things are moving violently to the upside, these exchanges also go down. It's comical how rigged against the retail sector these markets really are. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.